Welcome, Capricorn, to your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In this video, every single week, we review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact your natal sun and what that means, how it will play out for your day to day. We're going to start real broad with the big stuff, the things that everybody should be aware of. And then we will focus down into Capricorn specifics. And then I will break it down, everything down into the decans, so that you know how your natal sun specifically is being impacted, because it's not the same for all Capricorns. For this video, all you need to know is your birth date. You just need to know your birth date and you'll be able to enjoy these messages. If you really want major accuracy, then go grab yourself a natal chart. It's real easy, it's real cheap, it's free. All you'll need is your birth date, birth time, and birth location. And then in a couple seconds, it spits out a free chart. And by it, I mean a number of websites online. So for right now, pull up a chair, let's take a listen, and feel free to leave comments below. I'd love to know how this energy, how you're discovering it play out in your life, because it's got nothing to do with the houses. Right? It's got nothing to do with the houses. So ultimately, I'd be really interested to see where this energy is playing out in your life. And then I bet I can guess, based on where it's playing out in your life, which house it's playing out in. You could test me if you'd like. But let's jump in. The big stuff. So as was listed in the title and the thumbnail, this is for June 21st to the 27th, 2023. I take my notes all for you guys. I have to write it down. I can't do everything digitally. I need a pen and paper. Dude, seriously, holler at me if you understand what I'm talking about. I need the pen and paper. So, big stuff. Today, the 21st, the sun transits into Cancer. So we begin Cancer season because our seasons are based on where our sun is. So Cancer season begins. The sun is transiting from Gemini into Cancer. That's our major transit this week. But as the sun transits and throughout the entire week, the sun is going to be in a grand trine with something that's near and dear to your heart, Saturn. And then the south node to finish out the trine. So there is a grand trine between Saturn, the sun, and the south node. This is finding a comfort level with your talents and skills and how to put them into purpose and practical use and being seen for it, being known for it, being recognized for it. So, and being realistic with the applications, but also the realistic validation coming back as well. This is actually a really productive, progressive, and I think promising energy this week. We also have Saturn engaged in yet another major aspect, and that is a sextile to Jupiter. There is nothing more productive than this aspect. You have the expansive, adventurousness, venturesomeness, whatever that word is, broad-reaching, open energy of Jupiter combining in harmony with the maturity, steadfastness, and practicality of Saturn. See, when there's a sextile between two planets, you kind of get the best of both of them, right? So where Jupiter can be too fast, too quick, over-decadent, overindulgent, and disruptive, and Saturn can be restrictive, painful, stubborn, exclusive. You don't get that stuff here. When it comes to a sextile, you get the best of both worlds, and the best of those worlds can get anything done. Jupiter sextile Saturn, you can get anything done because you'll be realistic, you'll be practical, you'll be focused, you'll be mature, but you'll also be open-minded and willing to learn and willing to understand. This is beautiful energy, guys. I love it. And both of those aspects, Saturn, your ruling dignitary, is engaged in or is a part of. So that's good for you guys. Big old hint. We also have a major conjunction happening this week, and it started last week. Venus conjunct Mars in Leo. Come on now. Leo is the sign of romance. Yeah, everybody thinks it's Libra. It's not. Leo is romance because it has to do with the heart. It has to do with courage and passion. And that is all Leo. And when Venus and Mars conjunct in Leo, oh shit. I mean, OMG. Now there's another deeper aspect that's impacting this conjunction between Venus and Mars and Leo, and that is a trine to Chiron. That is beautiful energy. What it says is we're healing. We're healing our sexuality, our sensuality. And with the square to Uranus that's also acting upon the Venus-Mars conjunction, we have a sense of revolution, like sexual revolution, declaring who we are, our sensuality, who we love, what we are, and being proud of it, and being purposeful in changing what needs to be changed in order to make ourselves more healthy and happy, and make all the trauma that we've been through worthwhile. You know, so this is, I actually really love the energy this week. Saturn, we've talked about a lot already. Well, we're going to first review what's happening in Capricorn. Pluto is at 29 degrees Capricorn, and Pluto is in retrograde. That's what's happening in Capricorn. Saturn, your ruling dignitary, is still in Pisces. Will be there for 3 years or there and about. It's at Pisces, 7 degrees, and it is as well. It is in retrograde. It is part of the grand trine with the sun in the south node, and it is sextile to Jupiter. Guys, I don't think that there's anything that you guys can't get done this week. With that energy helping you out, I think you're going to have a very practical and forward, but also open and optimistic view of your world and your life this week. And that can only help you. Let's get into the decans because I know you guys love specifics. So, if you know that your natal sun is located between 0 and 9 degrees Saturn, you guys are in the first decan of Capricorn. And so, what did I say, Saturn? 0, 9 degrees Capricorn. So you guys are in the first decan of Capricorn. You are Capricorn 1s. This correlates to December Capricorns. So if you are a Capricorn on the Sagittarius cusp, born around December 22nd, all the way through December 31st, this is you guys especially. Maybe up to the 1st, but this is definitely more solid, right? So you guys, your natal sun, if you are at the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn, so say December 22nd, 23rd, maybe 24th, your natal suns for a long time, they actually have been for a long time and they will be for a couple more years, are square to Neptune. So this could be a little bit distraction, easily distracted. If you find yourself getting easily distracted, then this is how you deal with a square. Find a positive application for that challenge. So daydreams, put it into a creative place, put it into dance class, painting, writing, whatever it is. Find a practical application for the distraction, and then it will really, really prosper. That's long term. This week, also long term, you have a sextile to Saturn. Holy crap. Your natal suns are in a long term for this year sextile to Saturn, which means getting things done, being practical, being mature, moving forward, building out in the world, having confidence based on what you know and understand solidly. This week is just so progressive. Follow the opportunities and follow your instincts because it's backed by your experience and knowledge. This is a great week for career or just moving forward in general, making progress in your life. This is the week. You guys are also trying to Jupiter. Stop. Trying to sextile to Saturn, trying to Jupiter, while Jupiter and Saturn are sextile. Come on, stop. This is such a fortuitous energy for you, and it's been happening. I think it started last week. It will maybe 2 weeks ago. It will continue for the next week, into the week after. This is a very progress forward, like go ahead and get out there and build it. If you build it, it will come type of energy. Beautiful energy for you guys. We also have, however, your natal suns are in opposition to the current sun. This will only be for about a week, but this could also mean you feeling a little bit insecure or a little bit drained, or you feel like you're constantly combating egos. You also may be a little bit too egotistical at this time. So if you can just dial that shit back a little bit, I am sure that you can make progress this week, and definitely is still your time to shine. Capricorn 1. Capricorn 2. If your natal suns are between 10 and 19 degrees Capricorn, you are in the second decan of Capricorn, and your Capricorn 2s. This correlates to basically January 1st through the 10th, first 10 or 11 days of January. That's you guys. Your natal suns, especially if you're born around the 9th or 10th of January, are in a square to Chiron. Now, technically all of you are in a square to Chiron, but those of you born more toward the 1st or 2nd, you've kind of, or even up to the 3rd or 4th, it's starting to dissipate. It's not within 5 degrees anymore. It's 6 or 7 degrees away from you guys. So this hardship when it comes to the challenges that a square to Chiron brings, the insecurities, the suffering, the sadness, everything feeling like it's difficult all the frickin' time. This is actually to challenge you and to train you, because Chiron is your personal trainer, and it trains you by being hard on you. And so really this has been your personal trainer time to build you up for something that you're going to need this experience for, whether you realize it or not. And good things are coming. You'll start to see the 1st or 2nd of January. You guys are already starting to feel like, I can do this. I can handle this. It's meant to show you the strength inside yourself. So even if the hard times haven't passed, you'll start like feeling like, but I can handle this. I'm going to stick with it. Resilience and faith is really what Chiron brings us closer to. But 9th or 10th, you guys are really in that full-on square, and it's hard. It's hard and it's frustrating. You always feel like things are extra hard, like they're making, like, why does it have to be so freaking difficult? It's because of this square to Chiron, and it will last for up to 2 years, just to let you know. If you are born around the 2nd or 3rd, you are in a trine to Jupiter, a tight trine to Jupiter, but really all of you are in a trine to Jupiter. But especially those of you that are born around, did I say? I listed it here, the 2nd or the 3rd, but it's really all of you. Trine to Jupiter is optimism. It's just optimism. I think that's the best way to explain it. It's not necessarily even wonderful things happening so much as you just always being able to see the bright side of things. Enjoy that, because that mentality itself ushers in abundance. And then we have a quincunx, which is frustration between Venus conjunct Mars, sexual frustration. Something's frustrating you sexually, and it's going to come up this week. So you can address it and understand it and hopefully fix it. FYI. Capricorn 3. So if your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Capricorn, it is in the 3rd decan of Capricorn, and you are Capricorn 3s. This correlates to birthdays around the 11th through the 21st of January. That is a guesstimate, but it's in and around there. And definitely if you're a Aquarius cusp, absolutely. So your natal suns are conjunct to Pluto, especially if you're at the cusp. It's sitting there at 29 degrees. It's right there on top of you guys, but it's been that way. I would say anyone born like maybe the 19th, 20th, 21st kind of energy, like you guys are like in the thick of it with Pluto, and when it was in Aquarius it was no different. So you are conjunct Pluto. When a sun is conjunct Pluto, it just means you have this formidable personality, and people don't want to mess with you, but that you also intimidate people naturally. You may not know that anything has really happened, but people will start behaving differently around you. This will also usher in major changes, dynamic changes in your personality and your capabilities, or your understanding of your own capabilities. Maybe even the things that your life purpose can really be going through a metamorphosis now. This is long term. This lasts years. So just an FYI. Also a long term aspect to Neptune, a sextile to Neptune. So creativity, creative outlets, and faith are going to be huge conduits that the change occurs in, or that demonstrate the changes that are happening inside of you. And then we also have, especially if you're born around the 11th or 12th, a trine to Uranus. Trine to Uranus just means when your sun's trine to Uranus, I want to show my oddball. I want to demonstrate how new and different I can be. I'm going to have fun and revel in my own little personal rebellion, or rebelling against like those things that I've been stuck in. And this could really introduce you to a lot of new dynamics or aspects of yourself. This week, your natal suns are quincunx to Mercury. What does that mean? It's kind of frustrating, agitating energy. It kind of just means it's almost like its own mini Mercury retrograde. So if it's not Mercury in retrograde, but it feels like that because your phone could start to fritz. People aren't understanding what you say. Like communications fail. You get stuck into traffic and you're late when you never are. Those kind of frustrating things could be happening a lot to you right now. I wouldn't do any major presentation. I wouldn't sign any major paperwork for this week. Mercury moves real quick, so it's going to be gone in a couple of days. But yeah, for this week, I would just stay away from all the important communications. Anything that you have to sign that's official, just kind of stay away from it for you guys for right now. Don't take any tests if you can avoid them. If you can't, patience, breath. I know it feels like it takes more time. You'll try to rush yourself. Don't rush yourself. That's really important. Cusps. If you are born at the Aquarius cusp, you guys are also quincunx to the sun. Yes. What does that mean? Just irritation in how people see you or view you, or how they don't see you, how they're not recognizing you. It could come off as arrogance, but it could also be that you need to address some issues with people in terms of how they treat you. It could bring you closer to your own self-value, especially if it frustrates you enough. Let me know in the comments below how this energy is impacting you. I love you guys. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We're 10,000 strong here now. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, guys. Last week, there were a few videos skipped. I didn't even realize that I was traveling. I know I made the videos, not sure why they didn't upload, but that's the problem when I'm traveling. I don't always have reliable internet access, and my mom doesn't have internet at all, so I had to use data, which could be why some of these videos did not upload. So I apologize. There's always going to be 12 videos here unless something goes wrong, which it did last week, just so that you guys know. Come on over to, subscribe to the channel before you leave, and then come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.